Mitt Romney's big smile at the end of it all tells the story. Political watchers from both sides were saying the Republican presidential candidate needed to do well in the first presidential debate. And on the morning after, even a lot of Democrats are agreeing Romney was the winner. But is it a game changer? Some of the exchanges from last night, particularly on taxes, those were some of the most fiery back and forth. In Washington, as you see on your screen right now, Ford O'Connell, the chair of Civic Forum PAC, and our frequent guest because he's a Republican Party strategist. And I bet you're smiling, Ford, because everyone gives round one to your side.
Yeah, well, I am smiling, and so is the Romney camp. Look, he's trailing in the polls. He needed a strong performance, and he turned, a dominating performance. And I know I'm a Republican, and I don't really want to overplay this for your viewers, but in the post-debate exit polls, they had Romney winning by 20 to 40 points, and these are media outlets like CNN and CBS. So it was certainly a good night for Mitt Romney, but he's going to have to carry this forward if he actually wants to win the White House.
Okay,
good start, but more to go.
All right, let's come back to the future in just a moment or two, but for now, assessing last night, what did you like particularly in what you saw?
Mitt Romney's body language. I will be honest with you, if you turn the debate on mute and you just watch the two candidates go back and forth, Mitt Romney's body language was significantly improved. He appeared likable, he appeared in command, and it was clear from his body language that he was well prepared and knew what he was talking about. On the other hand, the president just was not very nimble. He clearly was unprepared, and frankly, it looked like he was irritated that he had to be on the same stage with Mitt Romney. It was really, as one commentator said, they said, did President Obama, bring his body double to the debate? Because clearly he left his A game at the White House.
Yeah, were you surprised by that?
I really was, because President Obama is really a great debater and a very, very good campaigner, one of the best we've seen since Ronald Reagan. And I think it was really a wake-up call for a lot of people. And Democratic commentator James Carville put it best when he said, guys, we have a race on our hands, and that's really what it was. Mitt Romney was really trailing, and he was about to lose, and this really breathed new life into his campaign. The question is, can he carry it forward?
All right. Let's play a little bit of tape for anyone, 50 million people watching last night, if anyone wasn't. Here's a little taste of an exchange to and fro that you particularly liked, and I'll get your take on it after this. So here's a little bit from last night's debate.
But don't forget, you put $90 billion. Like 50 years worth of breaks into solar and wind, to Sudra and Fisker and Tesla and Enter1. I mean, I had a friend who said you don't just pick the winners and losers, you pick the losers. All right? This is not.
So you pick the losers. Okay, so what do you think from, a barb or a zinger, I guess we could call it, something like that? What do you think viewers would have taken from that, Ford?
Well, it was really what Mitt Romney was saying. He was saying, President Obama, this is a policy you have. You knock big oil. We need domestic energy. And you sink government money into alternative energy. And frankly, you like to help, companies out, but you only pick losers. It was a very big contrast between the reality of the president's policies, the needs of Americans, and what Mitt Romney would do. That was a very big thing for him. And not only did he draw a contrast, but he was very confident in doing it, and he showed a lot of character because he knew the command of the facts, the reality of the situation, because domestic energy, like it is for Canada, is a very important issue for Americans.
All right. And yet, I have to say, people watching that might have wondered, who is this Mitt Romney? Because he was definitely staking his claim at the middle. Back to the Tea Party, we heard him talk about, supporting mending regulations for banks and for Wall Street. He talked about, I'm not going to be lowering the tax rate for the wealthiest. These were things we hadn't heard from him before, very different from his stances publicly prior to last night. Do you think anyone's really going to buy it?
Well, this was the practical, Massachusetts moderate that Democrats feared. It is important for Mitt Romney to carry this tone forward. And, it's certainly, for me as a Republican and for a lot of voters, I wish they'd seen this side of Mitt Romney earlier because he might well be leading in the polls. But Mitt Romney's got to carry that tone of principled but practical moving forward. And if he can do that in a certain set of battleground states, this is going to be a really close battle.
But, will people wonder, though, whether he stands for those policies or whether, what's talking about is very much more in keeping with what their actual platform is?
Well, that's Mitt Romney's job over the next month, is to convince voters that he can be that practical, principled, candidate who can reach across party lines in terms of solving our problems, and it's really up to him to do it. I agree this should have come out sooner for Mitt Romney, but this is a great narrative for Mitt Romney going forward. The question is, can he capitalize on it? And we're going to find out next week when the vice presidential debate occurs, which I'm expecting to be a real cage match between Paul Ryan and Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think you're absolutely right. Nothing professorial about this one to come, I don't think. But listen, as I let you go, we've used the phrase game changer. As you look to the future, heading into this, seen by many as being the last chance to really stop the slide, has it really changed the game, or has it stopped the decline?
Well, let me say this. In the history of Gallup since 1960, the candidate who was trailing going into the debates, only 3 times has that candidate wound up winning the Oval Office: 1960, 1980, and 2000. This certainly breathed new life into Romney's campaign. If he wants it to be a game changer, he's going to have to carry it forward.
Okay. October 17th, after the next one, let's chat again, okay, Ford?
You got it.
All right. Thanks very much, Ford O'Connell there in Washington.